The convergent evolution of cheetahs and greyhounds. Convergent evolution is the process whereby organisms not closely related, not monophyletic, independently evolve similar traits as a result of adapting to suit similar environments or ecological niches. If we look at the shark, ichthyosaur and dolphin as examples, despite one being a fish, one being a reptile and one being a mammal respectively, they all have evolved similar morphologies for high-speed ocean swimming and agile fish hunting, such as dorsal and pectoral fins and long powerful tails with triangular-shaped fins. A similar situation is observed in the cheetah and greyhound. Although both are in the order Carnivora, cheetahs, Actinonyx jubatus, are part of the suborder Feliformia in the Felidae family, and greyhounds, Canis lupus familiaris, are in the suborder Caeniformia in the Caenidae family, with each lineage having diverged from the last common ancestor around 65.4 to 57 million years ago. Despite the millions of years of divergence, the morphology of the two animals appears very similar. The cheetah habitat includes grassland, shrubland and savanna of northern, eastern and southwestern Africa. Being mainly solitary hunters relying on speed to catch their prey, they hunt smaller herbivores such as Thompson gazelle and impala, reaching top speeds of 100 to 120 km per hour. Cheetahs diverged from other felids around 8.5 million years ago and are considered one of the earliest divergences in felid evolution. Actinonyx pardinensis was alive in the Middle Miocene and was far larger than A. jubatus and almost double its weight. This cat had a skull similar to that of cats in the Panthera genus, and likely killed its prey by crushing the skull and neck bones, rather than suffocating it with a death grip to the throat like modern cheetahs. Its prey consisted of larger herbivores such as elk and mountainous ibex. It had less elongated but thicker lower limb bones, so was less aerodynamic and didn't reach the top speeds of its extant relatives, and hunted more like a modern-day cougar. It likely migrated from North America to Asia and Africa, giving way to A. jubatus 200,000 years ago, which had evolved to be more aerodynamic with a compact rib cage and thinner leg bones, specialised for hunting faster and more agile prey. Greyhounds are a breed of sighthound dog used for coursing game such as hare and deer in Britain and Europe until the 20th century. Greyhound racing was then introduced in Britain in the 1920s as the dogs were acknowledged for their speed and acceleration, reaching a top speed of 70 km per hour. It is suggested that the breed dates back to around 4,000 years ago, used for hunting and companionship to people of royalty in ancient kingdoms of Egypt, Greece and Persia. The cheetah body plan has evolved as a byproduct of natural selection for traits enabling high-speed sprints from their larger ancestors. Artificial selection by humans, however, has acted upon ancient wolves, Canis lupus, to produce a similar body plan to that of cheetahs in greyhounds, also suited for sprinting on open grassland or sandy desert. As a result, greyhounds have evolved much longer, thinner legs to be more aerodynamic than their wolf ancestors. Wolves are suited for long-distance running in snow, not sprinting, with top speeds of 50 to 60 km per hour, 10 km per hour slower than greyhounds, and hunt in packs to take down larger prey such as bison and elk. Artificial selection caused the aerodynamic body plan to appear faster in Caenidae than Felidae, as the genes of offspring are completely restricted to the genes of parents that meet the desired trait criteria. Looking at the common prey of cheetahs and greyhounds, it is clear they are very similar in morphology. Hares, deer and gazelle all have long slender legs for fast sprints and lightweight bodies for high levels of agility and sharp turns, with European roe deer weighing up to 35 kg and Thompson gazelle weighing up to 23 kg. Cheetahs and greyhounds also hunt on similar terrain, including flat, open grassland or sand, meaning employed form of locomotion would be similar. Since they both hunt small, fast prey, these animals are both mainly solitary hunters, as pack hunting is not very beneficial when a catch is too small to share and doesn't have the endurance for a relay chase system to be of benefit. Looking at the skeletons of the cheetah and greyhound, their convergence is clear, with their morphology somewhat matching that of their prey. Both animals have thin and elongated lower limb bones for long strides and for tripping up the long legs of prey, giving them a less stocky build than that of other big cats and dogs. The shoulder blades of cheetahs are vertical and not attached to their small collarbone, allowing for a maximum extension of the front legs and a longer stride. Similarly, greyhounds have a very small rudimentary collarbone that does not articulate with the rest of the skeleton. The hips of cheetahs can swivel, allowing the hind legs to propel forwards, gathering up the body like a coiled spring. Greyhounds are the only domestic dog breed to also possess this so-called perfect hip joint, allowing for the femur to rotate easily in its socket. Both animals have flexible spines, which, when extended, allows for increased stride length. Cheetahs have longer spines than greyhounds, however, due to loosely articulated vertebrae, giving them a maximum stride of 7 metres, with that of greyhounds being only 5 metres. The claws of a greyhound are non-retractable, and cheetahs are only partially retractable, unlike other cats, which enhances grip when turning. Both have muscles bunched at the top of the leg like that of their prey, with a reduction in the musculature of the lower limbs and paws for spring-like acceleration. Both animals have slender aerodynamic lightweight bodies, with cheetahs weighing up to only 57 kilograms and greyhounds weighing up to only 40 kilograms, enabling them to match their prey with speed and agility. It is clear both animals have adapted for open plain hunting, as both have a field of view of 210 to 270 degrees, giving them an almost herbivore perspective. Both animals also use the rotary gallop running style to chase prey. Animals using this style specifically reach higher speeds and generally have higher metacarpus to humerus and metatarsus to femur length ratios compared to other species, with longer and more flexible spines to enhance maximum limb reach and stride. Rotary gallopers have significantly higher limb excursion angles, giving the limbs a higher range of movement. Larger and slower animals like horses and elk use the transverse gallop, also mainly used by their predators. As prey became smaller and faster using the rotary gallop, predators also adopted this running style to match the speed and agility of the prey. The rotary gallop has two flight phases: the gathered flight phase, where the limbs are gathered into the body and the spine is flexed into a coiled spring to make the front and hind limbs completely overlap, and the extended flight phase, where the spine is extended and the limbs reach out fully for maximum stride length. This enhances speed and is an economical way for conserving energy, as spinal extension restores part of the energy required for the gathered phase to re-accelerate the limbs in the opposite direction. It can be said that the cheetah and greyhound have a similar flexion capacity and compliance. To conclude, a similar evolutionary arms race has occurred between the ancestors of both cheetahs and greyhounds and their prey to produce a very similar morphology in both animals today, despite them belonging to different suborders and families in the order Carnivora. However, this morphology arose in greyhounds as a byproduct of humans selectively breeding dogs for high-speed chases to hunt game for ourselves, rather than this occurring as a result of natural selection. Despite this, the selective pressure for high speed in both animals has caused their body plans and running styles to converge.